welcome everybody to another Blueprint Leadership Podcast. I'm Brian Poe.
I'm Pastor Lamar. Glad to be here.
Jit Swift. Deacon Will, our fearless leader, will be here soon, but we are standing in for him today. And super excited about what we're going to talk about. And I'm just going to jump right into it because the man to my left, right, I would describe as one of the most creative people, a mastermind of creativity, if I were to say so myself. And I think we all want to know one thing, right? Like, where does your creativity come from?
Man. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all, for sure. Back home. It really start within. And I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Like Pastor told me, he was like, some people gotta get it, but Jit Swift was born with it.
Yeah.
And when he said the Jit Swift and all that with it,
right,
it was official. And my pops had been praying to see, like, was this my calling? And he talked to God, and God gave him confirmation. Then just running to Pastor, he just summed it all up with the comment that he made. And it's just always been in me. It was just like my mom said, from 2 years old and up, it's just always been there, from music, dancing, everything. And
which I want to get into, right? Because I didn't give a title. I just called you Jit Swift.
Right.
And I said that because a lot of people know you as the artist, but what all do you do?
Entrepreneur, dance. I write all my music. I direct all my videos. I really want to get into the acting side with movies, commercials. I have a clothing line with Young Kings Clothing, YUNG, Young, Unique, Notoriously Gifted. That's for the kings, for the men, and the queens is for the women. And I also do I do writing for people.
Yeah.
Just anything in the music. My next move though is to do producing.
Yeah.
I want to do producing and start engineering so I can record myself at home, just save myself some money. Because once you're in it, you might as well go to the max and make sure you're making enough money from it. Even if you don't even have to rap anymore, you don't have to hit a stage. And you can be behind the scene and still making money. You get what I'm saying? So making sure that I'm in a position. So that's why I would do producing. But other than that, like producing, writing, I'm the artist, director, my clothing line. I can just keep going.
Yeah, and I would say, right, and you talked about it, and you probably can even hear, he's well thought out in what he does. Like, he's well thought out in what he does, and I find that to be special,
right,
when it comes to artists, special when it comes to people who are creative. Oftentimes, they're not really thinking about the full journey. They're not really thinking about longevity. They're not thinking generationally. They're not thinking with legacy in mind. But you've always had that. You've always thought beyond just that moment. Like, what would you say brought you to a point when you realize you're gonna have to think long term? You're not gonna be able to just sit in the moment, but you're gonna have to think longer than or further than how you feel right now.
With the talent that I have, once I noticed I could do a lot of things that other people couldn't do, I knew it wasn't regular. I knew it wasn't just for a moment. And from me dancing to writing music and freestyling off the top, it was abnormal. And every time I got around people, they always told me, like, it's crazy that you can do that. So I started realizing my value.
Yeah.
And then it went from there. And I was just like, the artists that I looked up to as like T.I., Jay-Z, they became businessmen And then I realized that's something I want to do. T.I. with the movies, videos, signing other artists, giving them opportunities. And I noticed I had talent like these guys.
Yeah.
They just put their mind to it. Because it's really like 75% like business.
Yeah.
So the talent is small. You get what I'm saying? But I noticed that I had a talent that could get me to the next level to do business. And that's really like what made me think of that, just seeing the artists that I follow and noticing my value, the talent that I had. If I could just write raps and that was it, then I would settle being in that box. But I could do so much to directing, to helping other artists develop. Once I realized my value, that's when I was just like, I'm gonna be here for a minute. Yeah. It's like steakhouse. It's not like McDonald's. You just pull up, boom, get your food, eat it, boom. You sit in a steakhouse, it take time, but this meal is worth it. You're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
And then you go home, you still full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is like the timing on it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
How old are you now, Swift?
Me, 26.
26. So how old were you when you began to have those type thoughts?
Well, I had my dad in my corner, so the conversations he had with me, I understood. So I was in high school, 2012. That's my freshman year, I think. Freshman or sophomore, I'm not sure. It's just the conversations my dad used to have with me, and it was just like, it stuck with me.
You know, I ask because I think most people's challenge is being able to organize their thoughts. Like all of us are born with something. Like many people can look back and say, when I was little, I used to love to do this, but then they get into life and before they know it, they're doing something kind of, it seems to be far away from the thing that they wanted to do.
Right. And a lot of times people settle and people are like quick to give up on just like what they think will work because it's not happening at that time. And people really don't practice what they want to do enough because the negative thoughts are in their mind and just take over.
Right. And I don't know if they can see it. Yeah. I think that they can't see it. Sounds like, as I listen to you, with your dad's help, maybe you were able to think out and organize these thoughts to, and that's now you can see the path that'll get you where you want to go.
Right. And that is true. But it took me, like you can talk to someone till your face turn blue.
Right.
And they might act like they get it. At the time, I didn't get it. As I got older and I see the things he used to tell me unravel, oh, he knows something. So let me try to catch on now before I'm old or older and then try to make these adjustments. I just do it now because what he's saying is true. I have to see by experience. And so when I started seeing things with other artists, oh, you know, this person he's going to be a one-hit wonder. That person going to be in the game for a long time. Okay, what make him be in the game for a long time? He do this, he did that, and he knows business. So that's how I wanted to be. So I went back, I just doubled back, and I was studying artists. I watched documentaries. I watch how people come up, YouTube series. It's like basically like reading, like doing, like studying, but I study certain artists.
That's good.
Because they were at a place that I wanted to be, and they led by example. So with experience, me seeing it myself, that's what made me listen to my dad and take the advice and realize, okay, this is right.
And you said something that was like really, really big, right? And in a nutshell, you said that like once you realized you were talented, you at the same time knew that talent alone won't get you anywhere.
Right.
But your talent must feel or be connected to vehicles if longevity is going to come.
Definitely.
It's like you made that jump quick. Like you're like, okay, I'm talented, but talent is only going to take me so far, and then I'm not going to be able to stay there very long.
Right.
I must take this talent I have and discover vehicles that can give my talent longevity. That's what I hear you walking through, right? And you did that from talking to your father. You did that from looking at other artists, and you're like, okay, so I'm talented, but I need to take my talent and push it into producing. I can take my talent and be a writer, not only for myself, but others. I can take my talent and I can create a clothing line, not just for clothes I wear, but clothes for others to wear. And through doing that, I can bring longevity to who I am. Right. Like, and I'm just saying, that's a mastermind, right? That's masterminded, right? But I know even with all of that, right, every outcome hasn't been what you wanted it to be. And what's amazing to me is at your age, right? At your age, how you were able to shake off outcomes that didn't turn out the way you expected it to and still keep being Jit Swift. So break that down. Like, what is going on in your mind? What happened in your mind that when outcomes you didn't expect took place, you kept going?
It goes back to the first question, the very beginning. It's what's in me.
Yeah.
And like with the talent, it's here, it's permanent. I don't have to be anybody else for it.
Yeah.
I don't have to give money for it. I was born with it. And it's the talent from God. And it's like, he keep opening doors after those doors close. Every time a door closes, another one open. But it keeps me going, just be like creating. And as I'm going through these phases, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
So bigger doors are opening. They're not the same doors. Bigger doors are opening. And it's like, it's so crazy.
It's something really cool, like really dope, right? And I don't know if you even realize you said it, right? It was you.
Right.
And it's impossible to quit on you.
Right.
However, many people, it's easy to quit because they were pretending to be something.
Right.
So you can quit on what you were pretending to be.
Most definitely.
But it's difficult to quit on who you are.
Definitely.
And so from the beginning, you just were who you were.
From jump.
And so quitting is almost impossible.
Definitely.
When you are expressing you.
Right.
Every negative outcome just becomes a moment to sharpen you.
Right.
But I can see that so clearly, right? You know, I've been around a lot of artists, and a lot of them, you see them a couple of years later, and it's like, do you still sing? And they're like, no.
Nothing. Right. It was a trend. Dance? He was a trend. He was a wave.
Yeah.
They go with what look cool.
Yeah.
I go with me. I'm gonna make me look cool. So if I grow my hair like this, and everybody's saying like, why you didn't cut it? Okay, I'm getting attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you still haven't cut it. What are you gonna do with your hair? Every time you see me, you focus on my hair. So I'm doing something right. So how about I just grow my hair how I want to grow my hair? I don't know. I didn't know I was going to do this. But now it's like, it's my marketing. I'm in the airport taking pictures with people. People ask about my hair. It's you. Everybody can't wear the hair. But since I've accepted me and I've accepted this style, this is what you're going to get. And you know this. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to switch. I got to accept it. If I wore a white jacket every day, or they go Swift with the white jacket, bro, when you going to take the jacket off? Now I got 100 different white jackets. Sooner or later, they're going to be wearing white jackets. That's just, when people accept you in a world where a lot of people are lost and you know where you're going, while everybody else is like this, they're going to follow you because they know you're going somewhere.
You sound like marketing to me. You sound like you know how to market yourself.
Right.
And so it's like, and a lot of times people have a lot of battles with themselves and they give up.
Yeah.
But they haven't seen that other side of, what if you do try? They keep saying, if I quit, I can go back to the block. If I quit, I can just go back to doing this. If I quit, I can do this. If I quit, I ain't got to worry about it. Well, maybe this wasn't for you because you don't have the fire behind yourself.
And what I love what you're saying is, like, most of your fire is coming from authenticity.
Right.
Like, your fire is authentic.
And that's I can only be me. Like, I can be me 100%. I can be Lil Wayne 10%. Yeah. I could get this. I can put on the same clothes he got. I could rap a little like him, but I can't be him.
Yeah. Because even if you change to fit a narrative or change to fit an image, like, it ain't gonna last long
at all.
Yeah.
And that's why you just be the real thing. Because once you buy, and no shade, once you buy fake designer, foreign designer, like Gucci, Louis,
yeah,
it tears up after a while. It start to wear down.
yeah.
So you win it, and you win it a lot. Okay, cool. By the end of the year, you're gonna need a new pair. If you just wait and get the real thing, you're gonna have it forever. I still got a pair of Gucci shoes I had for a while. My dad has a belt he had for a while, shoes he had. It's like, it's the real thing. It's not fake. So you don't have to worry about the tears and the wear.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So once you go with the 100% of being yourself,
yeah,
it's like, and you get a real feel for that, you're not gonna want to change it.
Yeah.
Because you're at peace.
Yeah. And I hear what you're saying, right? Because patience has been a huge part of your journey.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just patience for no reward.
For sure.
The reward of your patience has been a real discovery of you.
Right.
And that is in turn produced fire and passion.
Right, definitely.
For what you do, how you do it, which of course we all get the fruit of now seeing a bold version of it. But the boldness is a response to you being patient and letting it all come to fruition.
Right. And through that, not losing myself and not giving up.
Yeah.
But if I'm an artist, I got bills to pay, and somebody puts a check in front of me to do things in a certain way, it's like there's motivation for me to take that, even if that means I have to follow this trend. Like, how have you been able to avoid that?
Because like when you accept money without peace, it's no happiness. And it's like, when you do anything without peace, it's always, you're going to be bothered. So with a person like me, I didn't take a couple checks because that wasn't me. I don't want to do it.
And let's talk about that, right? Because you opened a car wash.
Right. I would rather get my money like this and still have my rights to my music on my masters and make the music I want to create. You're not throwing me in a video with 8 chains on, telling me put goals in my mouth, because I'm not at peace. It's not me. This is not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to come here and be someone else.
That's how that happens?
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
They'll switch your whole image because they want to go with what's marketable.
Right.
So if it's tattoos on the face for 2 years, everybody getting tattoos on their face, and you got your tattoo, and now that 2 years over, you still got them tattoos on your face.
Right.
So now you going back home, that wasn't even you, bro. And so you're not getting respected because you didn't stand on you. You didn't stand on business. So with me, I'm not changing for somebody else's opinion. I was born by myself, and I'm going to go out by myself. People are going to talk regardless. If you do good, you do bad. I signed a deal. I still had some people being negative. I got out of my deal. More people was being negative. Needed money at the time. Did Uber. Uber wasn't really picking up. I started a car wash. Car wash went great. I had a lot of people reach out to me that it added way. I realized everybody go through life. People from the music industry. This had nothing to do with music. People that I knew in the music. Salute, bruh. Salute. You running your business. Young King's Car Wash. If I was in your city, I'd pull up. That's a big move, bro. Like it's like I got signed or something. They congratulated me, and it was just, they know how it is in those situations to just take some, bite the bait, and you're reeled in.
Yeah,
and I didn't bite the bait because I just
let's marinate in that. Like let's marinate in that, because you said it. Let's marinate in that for a second.
Okay.
You started a car wash.
Right.
Why did you start this car wash?
I needed money.
So, like, you made a pivot. But I love what you just said. You opened up Young King's Car Wash.
Right. Kept the brand.
Kept the brand.
This is for life.
This is for life. How old were you when you opened up this car wash?
26, 25?
25, 26. You're like, yo, I'm an artist.
Right.
The sign deal didn't go the way it's supposed to go.
Straight up.
I didn't come home and lose myself.
Right.
I came home and once again use who I know I am.
Right.
Establish another vehicle.
Right.
And kept it moving, and then found respect. Still, right,
and that kind of stuff will help you be you, and that will help other artists. Once other people encourage you for being yourself, you'll get comfortable with it. If you cut your hair and you're not comfortable, and people give you compliments, you gonna start feeling. So yourself.
You wasn't embarrassed.
I wasn't, and embarrassed is what? A decision.
It's a decision,
and you're being embarrassed by who? People that's going through the same stuff. People post positive stuff, good stuff on Instagram. They're not posting the losses. Instagram is the flex for some people.
Right. So it sounds like you realize that some of the things some of the challenges that I'm facing, I'm not facing them by myself. Other people face these same challenges.
Everyone is going through it, and that's how they connect with music.
Yeah.
People have their story. Their music reflect them. I turn up, I laugh, I hang out a lot, so my music is exciting. When I went through what I went through, I dropped songs like Life's a Gamble. I dropped a lot of pain music because that's what I was going through. And people were able to relate because they've been at that point in their life too.
Yeah.
So people always show wins. That's like betting at a bookie. Like, you're gonna always post your winning tickets.
Right.
You lose 5,000, you're not posting that. They're gonna look at you. That was dumb. You know what I'm saying? That was dumb, bro. Why would you do that? But you post the winning, bro. You doing your thing, bro. And so when you realize a lot of people hide their story, and you're willing to put your story out. I put my story out because I know it can help other artists. Because people look at me like he's young, he fly, he turn up. He not gonna work a job. When they see me washing. I own a business and I'm working it. I didn't just hire people to work while I sit back and collect money. I got out here and I washed every day.
Yeah. And you said something. You said you discovered that a lot of people aren't struggling. They just won't work.
At all. Great parents. Parents telling them, hey, I have a business, you can work, boom. Or family friends you can work for. Or you can just go somewhere and just work. Instead, they don't want to work because they're putting just their thought in music. And that's where a lot of artists go wrong.
Are they trying to create an image?
They're trying to just depend on something.
I see.
Just off of like air.
Yeah.
You just go in the studio and record like, bro, I hope I blow.
Right.
You don't know you have to market this. It needs money. So if whole time with me, if I'd been had that car wash at 17, 18, I would have been somewhere further in my career because I would have been able to pay for marketing. Good music isn't made, it's marketed.
So what you just said, if you was talking to a 17-year-old artist right now.
Get a job. Get a job so you can stay independent. When you come to these people without leverage, that's when you get treated like a puppet.
Good music isn't made, it's marketed.
It's marketed. There's people that I hear hits. People always show me their song. People rap to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that's a hit.
It's nice.
It's not going to go nowhere without money.
Right.
You need the job.
So just
the job isn't the bad thing. Right? Being broke is.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Say it again.
The job isn't the bad thing. Being broke is.
And so you're saying this, just so we get the picture right. If 26-year-old Jit Swift could go back and talk to 17-year-old Jit Swift.
Yes.
Who really, let's just be clear.
Right.
Is probably more talented than most people watching this. You would tell that talented young man to go get a job.
I definitely will.
Save some money. Definitely. Invest in yourself.
Definitely will.
And walk it out that way.
Definitely will. And it's like, it's just so crazy. The image the artist giving out of no job. No, first of all, let me say this. The image artists are giving out of being independent is so much money. You got to have a lot of money to be independent, to beat a label. Radio, 200,000. You can watch Coach them interviews, spend 200,000 from a label to have the song in rotation on radio. You're working a job getting 15 an hour. It's always like, it's always gonna be somebody, you know, with more, or a label with more, but you could get enough money to take care of yourself and like keep your image. A label will come and partner with that because that's your leverage.
Right.
They caught your eye for a reason. You caught them for a reason. They like what you have going on. So that's when they'll partner up. But when you out here with nothing, like, no, you don't have the swag, you don't have nothing. They have to make you all the way from ground up. That's when they have the leverage.
Right.
Now you have to pay them back. Yeah. Now it's like,
they own
you wouldn't be here without us.
Right.
At least with your money and your own, you shooting videos, you was on your way. They just came and just pulled you up.
Yeah.
When you don't have money or nothing, no leverage, you just sitting on the ground. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you get that job and able to stand up, then you start putting that music in, you start walking, you start shooting music videos, and then you do shows, you're running. Now a label coming for you.
Yeah.
So you need the money to become that artist.
Yeah.
It's either you gonna put it up or a label gonna put you up. You gonna put it up with peace, or a label gonna come do it, and you gotta do it how they want you to do it.
You know, it's been a while since the last time I saw you, or we were able to talk. And but listening to you, I'm like real confident that you're doing well. And it's because what you're communicating reflects back to a mindset. Like, I know actions are the product of thoughts, and thoughts are the product of a mindset. So what I want to hear is you talk about like how, or what is it in that mindset? What do you have? What established thoughts do you have that produce the things that you do or the way that you live? I hear a lot of pops.
It's really like, it's in me. And I say it's the anointing. It's a light from God that's in me.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Joel, right?
Shout out to So, like, it's really in me, and it's so hard to explain, but easy to explain at the same time.
So when you talk about just being an individual you, that is
right.
That sounds, the way you talk about it and the examples that you have from it, that is an established thought you have.
Right. And how I'm trying to get it out to share is like,
you trust the God in you.
Man, my dad tell me so much. He's like, he never seen nobody with faith like me before.
Yeah.
He's like, one thing I have to tell, one thing about Swift is his faith. Like, he tells me the Tarzan, Tarzan he grabs tree by tree by tree. I leapfrog, which is not right. So I'm not, if I somebody do, I just jump and hope I land on something. Like, it's a huge leap of faith. And a lot of artists some artists are scared to do it because they're not confident. I know my talents, so I'm confident to do it. But now I Tarzan because I know how to market and where to put the money and stuff like that. But the whole thought process is just me knowing my value. And it's like, I've seen you try your way, and I wanted to be like you. Your way either didn't work or didn't last. My way is forever. So if I was to live my whole life and I was still able to be me and be myself and have peace, and I'm gone one day, I will still be at peace and be like, I never gave in. I stood on business. Like, I stood on all 10 about me. I never shortened myself. I don't take disrespect. You know, and like, my journey will be that he stood on what he said, and he never let anyone control him. I'm like that. And that's just how I always been. And that's why I say it's the light in me, because everyone light doesn't come on and have the courage to just do some of the things that I do. And for me, trying to explain the thought process is so tough. It's just like, it's like a feeling. It's a thought. It's just my way of life. And I just can't really get it out. It's like,
you being proud of you at the end of the
right. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you heard Drake's latest interview. He said they was asking what's his biggest accomplishment. And he said, I didn't lose myself. Yeah. He said, I still don't do drugs. Mm-hmm. And my mom called me and she told me how proud of me I am for not losing myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I am like not exactly like it, but I don't do drugs. Mm-hmm. I always stay myself. I'm around people with the best weed in California that people try to rap about. I still don't want to hit your blunt. Mm-hmm. I don't smoke. So I've accepted me, and that's not something I do.
You just dropped the clue, right? And I figured as we continue to listen to you, we'll hear those things that you've established in your mind,
and that I probably can't put out. Exactly. That, and it's really coming out.
But I
can't put like a word on it. Like,
but it's there.
Your thought process.
So you just referenced you were watching Drake's video, right?
Right.
And something you said earlier just lined up with that. So a part of your way
definitely is
like you're a student, right?
Right.
You study your craft,
right?
That's a value that you have, you know.
And another thing with it connected to when I say, hey, you might cut your hair, but when somebody come and compliment it, you're gonna start feel good about it. Mm-hmm. So me watching someone like Drake that's already up there say they didn't lose themselves, that gave me more courage.
Got you. Right.
So it teaches me, don't lose yourself so you can feel just as good. And he's showing me I can do this with making millions, going on tour, getting whatever car I want, living wherever I want to live. He bought a crib in where he's from. He said he was gonna get it. He manifested and it came. I could be with Lil Wayne. What else? Drake did a million things. Billboard #1s, and you can still be yourself.
Yeah. And because when you're yourself, right? Another product of that is
it's real and it lasts. Yeah. Look at Drake. He sings. No, they didn't want to sign him. People didn't want to sign him. That wasn't in. He sung. And guess what? He still sings. And guess what we've accepted? Drake sings. So people in the hood wasn't listening to him. But as Drake got bigger and people accepted Drake, and Drake started speaking on stuff you wouldn't speak on, he tells stories, his breakup, his heartbroken, him using his mom's cards. Thank you such and such for letting me use your cards. Thank you such and such for letting me do this. Thank you such and such for giving me free beats, never giving up on me. Thank you for, and he puts that story out and we can relate because it's real life. And it's real. And so, like, you have no choice. Like, he talks about his feelings. Kiki, do you love me? Like, you have to understand, like,
right.
He said, I'm in such and such and I'm in love with Jade. Something, and is that real because it doesn't fade? Like, he talks about his relationship. Like, so many people want to vent, but growing up in the hood, you vent and you soft. Or growing up over here, you soft. So you got to put on an image. Drake is him. I'm hurt. I miss her. We almost got married over here. I had a baby with this person. Such and such broke my heart. He said, such and such is married. He said, I couldn't give a commitment. No, we was going through some things. Name a couple that isn't. Regular stuff. So he's even encouraged me to
be proud of you. And what
I say this stuff in my music now. 2017 or whenever 18, whenever I sign, I mention it. I mention all this stuff in my music now. And I have stuff like I said, I remember playing ball, walking to Anna's house. Then I became a rapper. All the CDs I had handed out. Stopped playing ball. Now I'm a rapper and I'm standing out. I ain't talked to her in years. I done got me a family now. Talking about marriage, I say it can happen. I said, talk about your ex-girl. She like, what happened? wasn't meant to be. I couldn't make her happy. My homegirl Charity, funny like a parody, said I was a best friend and she wasn't sharing me. And it's just like me going down like memory lane, talking about stuff like Teen Night Jessica. Glad I didn't mess with her, because if I would have did it, I would have messed it up. Short Slim Erica, aka Miss America. See me out in public, she'll walk right it and tear it up. I couldn't have a message, I couldn't have a missed call. She was always stressing and she was always off. Like, this is stuff like, I would never have put out back then. I don't want people to laugh at me.
Got you.
But seeing somebody like him at that next level with actions, like when my dad was telling me stuff and then I started to see actions, I started to believe. And so it's so easy for me to take the route he took by just being myself, because he believed in what he had going. And our birthdays are around the same time too. And it's like, he reacts and does certain things that I would do. Like, he don't post too much. He posts what needs to be posted. I do the same thing. It's just a lot of similarities. And I really like, that's one guy I look up to in the industry, T.I. He's a family man. He put his whole family on a TV show. He encourages his kids to do whatever they want to do. He got one son that wears a necklace with like a chain, like a choker, and he encourages him. Why? Because he's himself. And they're still at peace. And at the end of the day, for me, it's for me to be able to be at peace when it's all said and done.
Because you can only be the mastermind of you, right?
That's it.
You only can be the mastermind of you. And when you are, what I just was hearing what you're saying, like, it gives opportunity for you to inspire next. It's like somebody's watching Jit Swift. Somebody's going to be watching this conversation. And just how you wearing your hair, how you rocking your chain. The man is wearing velvet. The crushed velvet you walked in, you know, all of that is not only a response to the confidence you have in who God's made you to be, but it's also a response to the fact that, man, it's encouraging somebody else as I continue to be who I am. And so with that, we're going to close here, right?
Okay.
You've also developed a new clothing line. So
I revamped Young Kings.
Right. Tell the people about it. Tell them where they can get it.
Okay, so Young Kings is, like I said, Y-U-N-G, young, unique, notoriously gifted. For the kings, it's for the guys. For the queens, it's for the ladies, of course. I'm building the website to have one-stop shop for my music with iTunes links, YouTube links, clothing, my pictures. Everything is going to be on one site. It's going to be jitswiftmusic.com. And I'm going to take pre-orders for the clothing. Right now, I have a fall line about to drop. So I'll be taking pre-orders and stuff like that. Everything is going to be affordable, of course. It's because I really want to see a lot of people in it. You know, some people want T-shirts for $50. I'm not doing a T-shirt for $50 because I've been that fan that couldn't afford. Well, not saying I couldn't afford. I don't want to ask my parents for $50 for a T-shirt when they busting their butt at work every day, making sure I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? So everything is going to be affordable. All my music and content, my YouTube, Swift TV 100, my Instagram, GITTSWIFT813. Or you can just Google Jit Swift and everything will pop up. You know what I'm saying? So,
awesome. So, man, thank you for that. Pastor Mark, any closing thoughts you want to give us?
Man, good to see you, brother.
Definitely, likewise.
As always, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the Blueprint podcast, and we will see you in the next one.